On Explorations this time, how we might meet the neighbors in the next century. This is Explorations, the story of man's extraordinary ability to communicate. Radio, telegraph, and telephone transformed communication within just 80 years. But an even more radical and sudden revolution was soon to overtake us. In 1911, the science fiction writer Hugo Gernsback wrote thrilling adventures in the year 2660. He described the telephot, a magical machine that could send moving pictures through the ether. In 1925, over 600 years earlier than Gernsback predicted, the telephot became real when John Logie Baird turned on the first television. At the time, some people saw no future for Baird's new technology.
John W. Campbell, the editor of Astounding, didn't think that there was any future in television because he didn't believe that such a complicated device could be made cheaply enough to be in general use. Well, John was a little wrong on that one. I believe he died watching a television program.
Suddenly, not only could man hear the rest of the world, he could see it too. Television became the mirror which man held up to his experience of the world. It became the focal point for news, for celebrations, and for mourning. Now people could participate in events as they actually happened. TV made the communal experience a worldwide phenomenon.
Have engine start, 2, 1. We have ignition and we have liftoff.
It was another science fiction writer whose imaginings made satellite communications a reality. Arthur C. Clarke is a modern-day visionary. His predictions have driven key advances in communication technology. In 1945, at the age of 27, Clarke wrote a paper proposing communication satellites and proving their technical feasibility. The rest is telecommunications history.
Towards the end of the war, I got this idea of using satellites as relay stations and realized, of course, that the range of ground-based transmitters was very limited because of the curvature of the Earth. So obviously, the higher you could get, the better. If you could get right out into space, you could cover half the Earth in one go. And there was this particular 24-hour orbit, and the satellite at that height, at that particular distance, would stay fixed over the same spot on the Earth. So I wrote this up in a short article, and that's where the whole thing started. And sometimes I feel like the late Dr. Frankenstein.
Communication satellites fly through space in what is now called the Clarke orbit, and the media barons still seek advice from the man who made their industries possible in the first place. Satellite television reaches every corner of the globe. It has caused an explosion in the number of channels available, but its future might be limited.
At a certain point, it became obsolete. I think we're at the end of the history of television.
Because television is still television, you sit and you watch it in exactly the same way as when it was first made. It's a one-way system of delivering information and entertainment, and man has always sought interaction.
It's an obsolete broadcast technology, and there are two ways you can respond to its obsolescence. One is to apply cosmetics to the corpse. You have HD TV, you have interactive TV, you have games on TV, You have all sorts of enhancements of TV, but they can't face the fundamental limitations of the medium. And there is a new medium that encompasses existing TV and multiplies it by a factor of millions in possibilities, and that is computer and internet technology.